Jim, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Let me get my papers back in order here. We can start with,
Jim, you start your,
Yeah, I am, whenever
Okay.
you're ready. You ready?
we're ready.
All right, we'll bring the meeting to order. This is a duly advertised meeting of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of our city ordinance. In matter of this type, the discussion of the board is final in respect that it does not go to the mayor or the city council for further action. However, if you disagree with our decision, you have recourse in the court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use in matters of this type. We act as the advisory committee to the mayor and the city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision on land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Go ahead and call the roll.
Ms. Safford? Here. Mr. Alessio?
Here.
Mr. Noctree?
Here.
Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Ms. Rohr? Here.
Okay, is the petitioner ready for the next?
Approval of minutes, I believe, are in order first from last meeting.
I move we approve.
Second.
Go ahead and call the roll.
Mr. Alessio?
Aye.
Mr. Noctree?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Ms. Safford?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
I was absent, so I'm distracted.
Okay.
Next item on our agenda is citizens to be heard on agenda items. This section is for anyone wanting to speak regarding items listed on the agenda. Anyone speaking on an agenda item is entitled to speak for a maximum of 4 minutes. It's not a question and answer period, and staff and the Zoning Board of Appeals does not generally respond to public comments. Please note, speakers who engage in conduct injurious to the harmony of the Zoning Board of Appeals shall be called to order by the presiding officer and may forfeit the opportunity to speak. Don't believe we have anyone in attendance for that purpose. We can move on to old business. There's nothing under old business. Moving on to new business, we have one application. Petition number 2021-05. The applicant is CHI Acquisitions LP. Status of the applicant is a contract purchaser. The owner of the property is Carl W. Miner, Senior Residuary Trust. Route 6 and Hollywood Boulevard is the location, and the request is a special use permit. Under purpose, the petitioner is requesting a special use permit to allow a truck terminal for Crow Holdings Industrial Developers. As per the applicable zoning ordinance, section 47.14.2 AD, special uses, all industrial zoning districts, carting express hauling establishments may be allowed as special uses by the mayor and city council with the advice of the Zoning Board of Appeals in accordance with section 47-5.2. Under site-specific information, the 52-acre subject site comprises 4 parcels on the north side of Route 6 at the intersection of Hollywood Boulevard. The subject site was annexed in 1970 and zoned I-2 General Industrial at that time. This petition was filed on January 15th of this year. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character, all zoning surrounding the property is zoned I-2. To the north is an undeveloped piece of property, and the rest of the surrounding properties are industrial uses. Under applicable regulations, section 4717.14.2 AD, special uses, all industrial districts. Section 47.5.2C, criteria for issuance of special use permits. And you could see attachments on those criterias in the application that's attached. Under discussion, the approval of the requested special use permit would allow a truck terminal for a future user on an undeveloped 52-acre site. proposed conceptual plan for the truck terminal includes a 79,500 square foot precast building with multiple truck bays. And you can see the attached site plan and elevations included. A separate 5,900 square foot maintenance building is also being proposed as an accessory use to the facility. 600 truck trailer parking stalls, 109 truck docks, 40 tractor parking stalls, and 313 standard parking stalls are also proposed as part of the plan. A preliminary engineering plan has been submitted and is being reviewed by the city's Public Works Department. All public improvements will be required by the Public Works and Utilities Department, the city's zoning ordinance, and the city's subdivision regulations. This will include compliance with the city's non-residential design standards and landscaping ordinance. 30-foot wide berm and landscaping adjacent to Route 6 and protection of existing vegetation, floodplain, and wetlands are being proposed, and you can see the attached conceptual site plan. Traffic study was prepared and reviewed by the city's Public Works Department and is available. I should mention also that traffic impact study was submitted to IDOT along with the plans and is being reviewed for comment. The proposal will utilize and improve the existing traffic signal at Hollywood Boulevard as their main ingress and egress. A lengthy 2-lane inbound truck keying entrance is proposed into the site to prevent backups onto Route 6. I-80 will be accessed by way of nearby Hobart Road and I-50 by way of nearby Route 6 and the intermodal by the future Hobart Road Bridge. Utilities are available along Route 6. Sewer and water connection fees and developer impact fees will be required. Payment in lieu of taxes will also be required as per the terms of a future proposed ordinance. The funds collected from the pilot will be utilized for adjacent city street maintenance. Under conditions, if the zoning board desires to approve the special use permit, the following conditions would be included. That the truck and trailer parking area shall be required to make a payment in lieu of taxes as per the terms of the future ordinance. That a landscape plan shall be submitted as part of the building permit plan set that meets city ordinance, and should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit, and that concludes the staff report.
Petitioner can take the stand. Do you swear your statement is true? Your name and address?
Matt Cruz, 3540 North Point Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60620.
Do you have anything to add to?
The only thing I'll add is this is coming on the heels of a recent successful similar project in Bolingbrook that part of a $100 million institutional quality development there. So truck terminal notes a feeling of what has been built over the years. We try to reframe what that means, and the pension funds and other institutional equity investors that we wouldn't let us under $100 million for building development that wasn't acceptable enough to the same standard. So that's what we propose here is basically that a good fit. It's actually smaller, more trailer parking, but a smaller facility at the end of the day. And I think it really ties in well in the wetlands, the floodplains there, reworking that whole site. Talked to the casino representatives a number of times. So they're on board with what our plans are. So we're excited to move forward on it.
Okay, any questions from the board?
I've got one. The staff report talked about queuing lane. How is that to work? Is it on both sides of the road?
Did it go out?
You can just shout.
You can hear me before you can probably hear me.
Yeah.
So, same thing with the Bolingbrook project. This one's longer, given the additional importance of Route 6 and the traffic flows there. So, the idea is to get that guard shack. So these facilities typically are required to be fully secure with a guard shack where they get checked in. Employee parking would be out of that secure area. So 2 lanes wide, believe it's 16 trucks can queue, it may be 12, I
Okay.
can, but enough to get people onto the property and not backing up, either coming westbound on Route 6 and making a right turn in, or in the left turn lane that would be constructed on Route 6 into the sector, to get everybody onto the property.
How does that, are you working with IDOT on that? I mean, I guess you'd have to be in the right of way of the road, wouldn't you?
I'm sorry, the queuing lane is on the property itself.
On the property, okay.
So after, from the light, there's, what is that, 400 feet of queuing? Yeah, I'm looking at the-
Fred, if you'd like to come up to the front and introduce yourself, I'll just swear you in. Do you, or is, we lost the spot here.
Just tell him, he can't
Do you
lie.
swear your statement to be true? And go ahead and give us your name and your
My
address.
name is Fred Thady. I'm with Cage Civil Engineering. My address is 5936 Rosenweed Lane, Naperville, Illinois, 60564. So I think the question was, what distance is that queuing length from Route 6 to the guard shack? And I wish I had a drawing to scale here, but as I look at it closely, I think we're probably, like Matt had indicated, about 400 feet from the gate
Aaron,
down to the US Route 6 right of way.
Okay, my question was basically, it wasn't clear from the staff report, that you're doing it from both directions.
No, the way that it actually works, I don't know if you have access to a site plan in front of you,
Yes,
but basically what it does is, and it's also up on the screen
Yes.
there,
we have it.
traffic comes off of US Route 6 and into the site, so it would be kind of westbound into the site. And they're able to get onto the property, off of the highway, before they have to stop and kind of start stacking up to get through security. So the idea is to provide this extra length and make sure that we really limit any potential of any trucks sitting on US Route 6
Right.
and blocking traffic.
Okay. Okay, thank you, that's good. One other concern, this plan looks good and it's perfect for that spot. The one tricky thing here is IDOT and Route 6, which for years and years, they have not widened, and it's traffic jams now already. And you're gonna have trouble getting in and getting out until that road is fixed. And it worries me that you'll be investing in this thing to build it. It has to be sold to somebody, and whoever that is obviously needs to know that this road is a bottleneck, and maybe for a long time.
Yeah, a traffic impact analysis has been done, and, you know, are they perfect? Probably not, but going through all the analyses on it, trying to determine what the level of service and the impact to this intersection is, and the signalization, and then even extended beyond that. That impact analysis has been done. I believe it's being reviewed or has been reviewed by city staff. It's also been submitted to Illinois DOT. We're gonna be required to get a permit from them to do any work to the traffic signal or even access the site. So they're going through that process right now of reviewing that, and they'll probably have some comments addressing turn lane lengths and storage lengths, just to make sure that we get all, we limit any potential of trucks blocking traffic, and that anybody waiting to get into the property is out of the travel lane. So that's an ongoing process right now. It's been into IDOT for probably about 3, maybe 4 weeks now, and it's a process. Let's just put it that way.
So you will not proceed with this until you have some idea what IDOT thinks and what they're planning on doing in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna be able to get a permit to construct anything. I'll let Matt talk to it as if he wants to go at risk on some engineering, some design, some permitting process in anticipation of trying to get all the stars to align at the exact same time. But yes, IDOT is the controlling factor as to whether we even get access to this property from US Route 6.
But are you concerned about the blockage that's on that road now already that's gonna slow down your trucks as well as the rest of the traffic?
So the majority of the bottleneck occurs from here east, generally. So especially now that the bridge is moving forward. I think I last was in front of you all when we built the big 1.2 million spec building when I was at Opus. So gosh, five years ago. And we were talking about the bridge being started in 2018 or about. Right? So it's good to see it's finally going. But the trucks from this site will, 95% of the volume will go west. Go north to 80 on Cobalt, go across the bridge south, or continue west on Route 6 to I-55. So we feel comfortable from that standpoint that people will get to our site, turn around and go back west. And that, in my experience at least, is much more open from a traffic count standpoint.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? If not, is there anyone that's here to speak in favor or against the petition? And next, we'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion is seconded. Go ahead and call the roll.
Mr. Noctree?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Ms. Safford?
Aye.
Mr. Alessio?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
And that will go before the city council then, second meeting in March. So we'll be in touch, but just have that on your schedule. Moving on, the agenda is old, new business, not for final action or recommendation. We have none under that. Moving on, public comments. This section is for anyone wanting to speak regarding non-agenda items and are allowed a maximum of 4 minutes. It is not a question and answer period, and staff in the Zoning Board of Appeals does not generally respond to public comments. Please note, speakers who engage in conduct injurious to the harmony of a Zoning Board of Appeals shall be called to order by the presiding officer and may forfeit the opportunity to speak. We have no one, correct? So with that, there'd be a motion for adjournment.
Go ahead and call the call.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Ms. Safford? Mr. Alessio?
Aye.
Mr. Noctree?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.